Storm.
Welcome back to P-Storm. We are playing Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, Electric Boogaloo. And we have just entered the second half of the first trial. Amnesia? I can't believe my lawyer is trying to defend me in such a state. Why didn't you tell me, sir? I'm sorry I didn't mention it to you. Oh, I know what to do. I heard you can fix something like this with a really strong shock to your system. Come on, lower your head a little. A Maggie kick should be all you need. No. I think I'll pass on this one. Come on. I'm sorry. Whenever I see someone in trouble, I have a hard time leaving them alone. I tend to stick my nose where it doesn't belong and try to tackle everyone's problems. Well, my head's one problem you won't be tackling today. Well, we're here to solve your problem first. We can deal with mine later. For now, do you think you can fill me in on a few things? Of course, I'd be honored to. Well, I guess we'll start with my name and then I can tell you about me. No, that's okay, really. I think I know you and your name pretty well by now. I was wondering if you could help me figure out a few things about myself. So, my name is Phoenix Wright? What a weird name. This is serious. You really don't remember. I'll tell you what, sir. You can have this back, and maybe it'll help. This is a business card? I got this from you. It's my most prized possession. You can borrow it for now, but please give it back, okay? Okay. There's some numbers written on the back. Oh, that's your cell phone number. I guess for now we should stop talking about me and start talking about this case. This case? Yep. Can you think of anything that would be helpful for me to know? What can I tell you? I can't think of anything other than the incident with the cell phone, but... Cell phone? Yeah, your eyes lit up when we talked about it at the detention center, sir. Hurry up then and tell me. This might be very important. Okay, Roger. It was on the day of the crime, just before 6 p.m. I picked up a lost cell phone while on a walk with Dustin. All of a sudden, the phone began to ring. Hello? Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone. Is this yours? Oh, I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back. I'll be right there. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. You can call me Maggie. We agreed to meet up at 6 p.m. Dustin and I waited for the person to show up, but they never did. So where's the phone you found now? I gave it to you yesterday. Huh? To me? Is that phone in my pocket? You mean this? Do you think it has anything to do with the murder? I don't really know, but if my eyes lit up... Ah, you were here all along. Oh.
Ah, you were here all along! You're so mean! I called you 1,000,000 times, but you wouldn't pick up! And when I went to check in the courtroom, everyone had already left.
Ah, now who in the heck is this? Let me guess, I'm supposed to know this girl, too.
Hey, good morning, Maggie!
And a good morning to you, too, Maya.
So, how's it going?
Is there a word for worse than abysmal?
Oh? And what if I said that everything will be fine? That's right, it's Maya to the rescue with the ultra-decisive, super important evidence. Here you are, Nick. The thing you wanted me to bring.
Huh? Oh, thanks. What the heck is this? A list? It has about 20 people's names and phone numbers written on it.
It was kind of tough, but I managed to dig up some dirt. Looks like these guys are up to no good. Started making trouble in our neighborhood.
You got in one little fight and your mom got scared?
She said I'm moving with my auntie and uncle in Bel Air. I think these guys are members of some con group. I don't fucking know.
Hey man, did you just swear? Why would a group of con artists pop up in a case like this?
Don't look at me.
And where'd you get this list from in the first place?
What? Don't you remember, Nick? You're the one who asked me to look this up yesterday.
Oh, is that right?
These numbers were in the memory of that phone Maggie found.
So that's where they're from.
You're awfully forgetful these days, Nick. I hope I never get to be a forgetful old prune like you.
Maya, actually, Mr. Wright is... Mr. Wright, recess is now over. Please bring the defendant and return to the courtroom immediately.
Oh, oops. Guess you gotta get going. We can talk about you being old later, Nick.
Wish us luck. I guess I have all the pieces now, more or less. All that's left is to put it all together. I'm not going to lose this. I can't.
Come on, Nick. Better get a move on.
Yeah. Court will now reconvene. Please call your next witness to the stand, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. But before I do, if I may say a few words...
What is it, Mr. Payne?
It's about the next witness. He has a tendency to say things that rub people the wrong way, you see. So I asked that the court might be a little lenient on...
There is no need to give a preface. Just hurry up and call your witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution calls its next witness. A drifter who was taking a walk in the park on the day of the murder. Please state your name for the court, witness.
Before I do, I'd like to clarify a little something.
Huh? Oh, all right. Go ahead.
Just now you introduced my wonderful self to the court, correct? Perhaps as a drifter who was taking a walk.
Did I?
But I will not stand for that. Now you've tinted the court's eyes and colored me wrongly. Surely, I suppose... Fuck. He's suffering old bag syndrome.
Yes, I understand. I'm very sorry. I will be more careful from now on.
What is he, a human chatterbox?
I have to question him. You feel like you've done it before, don't you? Fashion, cars, women, glasses, and of course, university. First rates only need apply.
Glasses? But you aren't wearing glasses.
That's enough. Your name, witness. Oh, is that how you want to play this? Using your power and influence to keep the young people down? I see how you work now. You old people and your dirty tricks. You thought you had me, but you thought wrong. I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Oh, man.
I forgive you. All right, I suppose I can tell you my name. I am Richard Wellington, a drifting virtuoso with a PhD in drifting, as it were. If you wanted to, you could call me a university student in transit.
Mr. Wellington, on the day of the murder, you were strolling through the park, correct?
It would appear that you are attached to that word. If you must, then by all means. But I remind you that I am in no way a prepubescent boy out on a walk with mommy. If you must know, I am...
Anyway, please testify to the court about what you saw during your walk through the park.
See, you said it again, taking a walk. You know, you...
What you witnessed will do, Mr. Wellington.
I was at the park all afternoon, deep in thought about my life situation. I don't remember the time all that well, but I do believe it was past 6 p.m. All of a sudden, a police officer falls from above, right in front of my eyes. Without a thought, I looked up, and there I met the eyes of a charming young lady. Of course, I remember her sweet face. It was that of the pretty defendant there. The only other thing I saw was that banana that fell with the police officer.
That was certainly a decisive testimony.
Decisive? Nick, did you hear what he just said?
Yeah.
That's all you have to say? How can you be so calm?
It's strange. My mind is very calm and clear. Maybe it's because I believe in my client.
You mean Maggie?
Yes. And if she really is innocent, then that can only mean one thing. That guy is lying.
You may now question the witness, Mr. Wright.
I'll find out the truth, no matter how well you craft your lies. Alright, what's this about bananas? Banan? The Banan? Well, it was actually more than just one. More like a bunch of Banan. Now, what would a bunch of Banan be doing there? And why would I know such a thing? I'm only telling you what I saw.
That's really strange. Maggie never mentioned anything about a bunch of
Banan.
That's it, Nick. He's got to be lying about the
Banan. He could be, but there's no reason for him to lie about there being a bunch of Banan at the crime scene. And what if it's not a lie?
Well, maybe he thought he was saying one thing and it was something else.
If he mistook something else for a bunch of Banan, then that would be an inaccuracy. Think, Phoenix, think. What will you have in 500 years? Other than Rance 10 in English.
Which means if we can somehow show he's lying...
Yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. She's right. She's got a sharp mind, but I just wish I could remember who she is.
Is everything okay, Nick?
Sir, you look like you tried to wash your face, but then you got some soap in your hair and you just left your soapy hair like that. Alright. You want Banan? I give you Banan. Mr. Wellington, I believe I have the Banan you saw right here. Oh, so you knew about the Banan too? Why didn't you say so earlier? But you think you can use this as a way to pull more information out of me? And that's where you'd be wrong.
Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
Isn't that a baseball glove?
Huh? What? A baseball glove? Doesn't it look delicious? Care for a bite? That's not... It's a... No! Your Honor, I think this proves one very important fact. This witness... By the way, just how bad are your eyes? How? What? Why are you asking me about this all of a sudden?
Your Honor, it is very simple to mistake a glove for a bunch of Banan.
No, I don't think so. Objection overruled.
You're one of those people. Yes, you know what I mean.
You're like those people who refuse to... Fuck you, I am from England and my name is James!
And that is why I asked you how bad your eyesight is. And your teeth.
They're both 2200. I suppose you're going to tell me that's terrible, right? Why are you not wearing your glasses today, then? That's because I lost them recently, you see. Of course, I was planning on getting a new pair made right away. But, you know, my glasses are no ordinary glasses, so to replace them...
How about when you witnessed the crime? Were you wearing your glasses then? How about it, witness?
You are an unrelenting, evil man. You're like those people who...
God damn. Which boils down to you were not wearing your glasses at that time. Therefore, the identity of the woman at the scene of the crime and that of the defendant cannot be proven to be the same by this witness. But the height difference was only 9 feet. It was very possible for him to see the face of the culprit standing on the upper path.
Witness, please be more accurate in your testimony. Remember, a person's life is at stake. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, please continue with your testimony.
Please tell the court what happened next, in the moments after you witnessed the crime.
The girl on the upper path ran away as soon as she realized I was there. After that, I immediately called the police station to report the crime. It must have been 6:45 p.m. when I made the call. They must have a lot of free time on their hands since they showed up within 10 minutes. So the person who was on the upper path saw you and then ran away? Yes, that is correct. Which is why even someone without a superior brain like mine can understand that. That girl is the murderer.
I love his face in that photo, just...
Oh!
You may question the witness now, Mr. Wright.
What do I have in my inventory? In my evidence. What kind of evidence do I have? Well, I guess I'll press. She ran away just like that?
Yes, she did. She saw me and flew the nest like the guilty bird she is. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that pun too hard for someone who's only got a third-rate education?
Actually, that did take me a few seconds to get. Anyway, if she ran away the instant she saw you, how could you tell it was my client? The witness has already answered that question. He has stated that the defendant is the culprit.
This is true, Mr. Wright. I'm striking your question from the record.
How can I get more information out of him? Immediately? As in
immediately. I mean, sure, a minute might have elapsed before I did, but that's the duty of every good citizen. Or do they not teach you that in your pitiful school?
You think people learn about how to call the police in college?
Hey, Nick, I think you should take a look at the court record for a sec.
Immediately called the police station to report the crime. What evidence do I have to... Well, I mean, if this were Danganronpa, I could just flashback those two statements.
But this is not Danganronpa, so I gotta rely solely on physical evidence. How do you know what time it was?
That detective told me. You know which one I mean. You know, the one with gum on his shoe. The one with the jacket that makes him look like a dropout from a no-name high school.
Hey, pal, I graduated top of my class in Navy SEALs. I don't believe this.
It doesn't matter. I don't believe I was mistaken on what time I called. And if I am wrong, then that detective obviously doesn't know how to tell time. If I am wrong, then that detective obviously doesn't know how to tell time.
What? Why, you're just some lousy kid who...
I think the court can see your point. Anyway, how'd the police respond?
Okay, Gumshoe called him kid, but... 22, my god! He does not look 22. Like, okay... Like, maybe like mid-20s, but early 20s? Hell no. He looks older than Phoenix, and Phoenix is 25 in this game. Alright, must have been 6:45. Yeah, all I can think of is... Oh, that was right. Mr. Wellington, would you please take a look at this?
You mean the victim's autopsy report?
According to this, the murder occurred at 6:28 p.m.
So what of it?
You said that you called the police immediately after the murder took place. However, by the time you had called the police, it was already 6:45 p.m. There's clearly a 15-minute gap here. Do you deny it? Ah! I think this court would like to hear what you were doing during this 15-minute gap.
The witness was in shock at the time after... The witness was in shock at the time after witnessing a terrible murder. It's only to be expected that he'd be a little dazed.
15 minutes is hardly what I would call a little dazed.
Ah!
Mr. Wellington? Yes? Explain yourself. What were you doing during those 15 minutes?
Answer the question.
I was just seeing if the, driveway...
Spit it out.
I was searching for a phone booth.
A phone booth?
You mean you don't have a cell phone? You and your questions, as if you're trying to open all the layers of a Matryoshka doll. You must think you're something special.
Witness.
I lost my cell phone. There. Are you happy?
You lost it.
Unbelievable. You lose your glasses and your cell phone? You must be very scatterbrained when it comes to your belongings. What, are you saying that first-rate people are never allowed to lose things?
I'm just gonna let it play out, man.
Enough.
Oh man. Oh god. Oh man. Oh god. Oh man. Wait. Hold on a second. He lost his cell phone?
Nick, that cell phone. Could it be?
You mean this phone Maggie found? There's no way. Boy, I didn't see this coming. What should I do now? Mr. Wellington, where's your cell phone right now?
What are you getting all excited about? You seem to be a little confused. I found my phone, I'll have you know. See, here is it.
Is that a typo or... They're making him sound like a dumbass on purpose. Oh, I see.
Looks like he's got his phone. Not that... I thought that just maybe this was his.
Well then, I think we've cleared this issue up. At the time of the murder, the witness did not have his cell phone because he had lost it. Therefore, the delay in his call was caused by his search for a phone booth. Can you believe they still had phone booths in 2017? Well, that's the gist of it. I guess you could put it that way and leave it at that. Do you have any further questions, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor, the witness's testimony does not make any sense. I don't believe that there was ever a need for the witness to search for a phone.
How dare you?
You can't just make outrageous claims like that. You do have some sort of proof, don't you?
Well, yeah, of course. This evidence should be good enough, I think.
All right, let's have this proof then. Please present proof that the witness had no need to search for a public phone booth.
It's very simple. This is the evidence that backs up my claim.
And yet again you have presented this court with an obtuse, meaningless item.
Huh? It's obtuse and meaningless?
I don't get you at all, Nick. Why do you think he wouldn't need to look for a phone in the first place?
Well, that's because I was looking at the evidence and it just hit me. I thought, hey, he really didn't have to look for a phone.
Then why don't you hurry up and present that piece of evidence?
Now, what was that piece of evidence again?
All right, let's have this proof then.
I mean, I thought that was the proof. The proof is in the pudding. What the fuck, man? I presented the cell phone, but let me try again just to make sure I didn't accidentally present the wrong thing. Okay. Let's try this one then. Okay. This game's broken. Proof that the victim had no need to, or that the witness had no need to search for a phone booth. Oh, there was one right there. It's quite simple, actually. Please take a look at this.
The crime scene photo?
Is there a problem with it? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the picture. But if you don't understand my logic after looking at it, something's wrong with you.
No! It's a phone booth.
That is correct. All the defendant had to do was walk 3 steps. Mr. Wellington, why'd you not use the phone that was right in front of you?
Oh! Order! Order!
What does reporting the crime a little late prove for the defense?
The witness can't explain what he was doing for those 15 minutes. That's reason enough to throw suspicion on his testimony.
Yes, this is very true. What do you have to say for yourself, witness?
Then I bet this phone really is his, Nick. He must have killed Dustin to get this phone back.
But Maggie said that she was going to return it to him, so there's no reason for him to kill for it. On top of that, we still have the phone she found anyway.
But if he wasn't looking for his cell phone, maybe he was looking for something else.
Was he?
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any thoughts you would like to share with the court? Can you offer an explanation as to what the witness was doing during those 15 minutes?
I don't really have an idea, but there's only one possible explanation. See, okay, I've played the first Ace Attorney game, like, the whole thing, like, at least 4 times. This one, on the other hand, I think I played it, like, twice.
Alright, let's hear your explanation. However, be forewarned that if your explanation is not persuasive, you will be penalized. Think carefully before you present, Mr. Wright. The last thing you want is to be penalized. In the butt. I don't fucking know.
Yes, Your Honor. And I probably shouldn't have said there was only one possibility. Oh, I can already feel it in my butt.
Please present to the court the one piece of evidence that will answer the following. Why didn't the witness call the police right away?
Ski-bop, bop-boop-ba-doop, ski-beep, dip-ba-ba-doop-ba-deep.
I guess this one? Perhaps this is the evidence you need to be convinced.
Perhaps.
That was just an idea I thought I'd throw out.
I suggest that perhaps you should find a better piece of evidence.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. Well then.
But before you do, you will be penalized.
Ow, my butt!
Please present to the court the...
Oh, yeah. I already read that line. Is it this one? Man, my butt's taking a beating today. That's why. Perhaps this is the... Son of a bitch. I don't know, maybe because his glasses were broken? Mr. Wellington.
What? Don't do that. You almost gave me a heart attack.
These are your glasses, aren't they?
Where did you find...
I believe the court all heard what you just confessed to. That these glasses are in fact yours. I'll tell you where they were found, Mr. Wellington. These glasses were found under the victim's body.
Under the victim's body? Order! Order! Now wait a second, hold on. I didn't confess or confirm anything.
Your Honor, I think the answer is quite clear here. As he fell, Dustin Prince grabbed the culprit's glasses. The culprit knew he had to find his glasses and search frantically for them. He said, "My glasses! I can't see without my glasses!" And what he didn't realize was that they were under the victim's body. And that's why it took him 15 minutes to make that call. And in those 15 minutes, he could have switched to better car insurance.
Are you indicting the witness as the real murderer?
Of course. That's precisely what I'm doing. I know I'm right. He's the real murderer.
Did you figure it out, Nick?
More or less. Turns out the cell phone was the key to this case after all. Anyway, now's our chance to deep six this guy. Is that like a sexual thing, or... I'll sink him in one shot. That was definitely sexual.
This is so exciting watching you work again.
Somehow my old self is coming back to me. It's time to sink or swim. Everything rests on the edge of a knife. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Order! Order! I mean, nobody's really making any noise, but order anyway.
Yes, I'll have the chicken nuggies, please.
Your Honor, the defense is making a mockery of this court. Without any solid ground to stand on, he accuses the witness of being the murderer.
Yeah, that's right. I'm no criminal. This third-rate fraud of a lawyer.
In that case, why don't we look at it from a different perspective? If I were making a mockery of this court, I'd be doing bad impressions of everyone. The court is now in session for the trial of the... Ooh, the prosecution is ready. Let's hear your explanation as to why you are not the murderer.
Why, that's easy. For example, there's, the name the victim wrote. What about that?
Oh, you mean the name Maggie?
Yeah, even an idiot like you can read that, right?
But we already know that this was not written by the victim himself. After all, the defendant's name is Maggie with a Y, and the victim is left-handed.
In other words, in order to make the defendant look guilty, the real criminal used the victim's right hand to write her name on the ground. But... Wouldn't that mean the real criminal was someone the defendant knew? Otherwise, how would that person know if her name was Maggie with an I or with a Y? That is a good point. The witness didn't even know of Miss Bird before this trial.
I forgot. Is there any other way this creep could have known Maggie's name beforehand? There is. It would be best if I could prove that the witness had a chance to learn that the defendant's name was Maggie.
Now will the defense please present its case? How would the witness have known the defendant's name?
Like that? Mr. Wellington, you didn't have your cell phone with you on the day of the murder, correct?
So what if I didn't?
When you realized you'd lost it, what did you do?
What did I do?
Didn't you try to find it by calling it?
Why, how did you...
Your Honor, these questions have nothing to do with...
Overruled.
You son of a bitch.
Mr. Wright, where are you going with this line of questioning? Do you think there's some relation between the witness's cell phone and the murder?
I do, Your Honor. On the day of the murder, Maggie Bird picked up a lost phone in the park. And she also received a phone call from the owner of this phone. Hello?
Oh, thank you. I've been searching for my phone.
Is this yours? Oh, I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back.
I'll be right there. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
You can call me Maggie. That was when you learned that her name was Maggie. But you made one fatal mistake.
Fatal mistake?
My client's name is Maggie with a Y, but the name that was written on the ground was Maggie with an I. This is a mistake that could only occur if all you knew was how her name sounded.
Order! Order!
But, Your Honor, the witness has no motive.
And your point is?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The person would not kill someone without a reason. Mr. Wellington had no reason to kill anyone.
That is absolutely correct. I don't have a motive. Mr. Wright,
Your Honor?
can you explain what motive this witness could have had?
It's very simple, Your Honor.
Are you sure, Nick?
If I said I can't offer an explanation, then the trial's over, right?
Yeah, but...
Now then, please present to this court the witness... Please present to this court proof that the witness had a motive.
Mr. Wellington's motive is right here.
What is this? A list?
These phone numbers were pulled from the memory of the phone the defendant found. We have determined that the people on this list are members of a certain group.
You looked up all those numbers?
Of course. This list of phone numbers was stored in the cell phone's memory. The names and numberings belonging to a certain... The names and numbers belong to people who are members of a certain con artist group.
What? Con artists?
Can you explain why these numbers were on your phone, Mr. Wellington?
This is an outrage, an invasion of privacy. Looking up the phone numbers of a person's phone is a worse crime than murder. You're one of those people. You're just like the cops who...
I don't care, Mr. Wellington. All I want is for you to tell us what this list is about.
You think any of you, know what it's like to be a refined man such as me?
Your Honor, this is unjustified badgering of the witness.
Objection overruled.
God damn it!
Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? Why would the witness have the numbers of a group of con artists on his phone?
Isn't that obvious? The witness is... Mr. Wellington is a member of this very group.
No!
All of your friends' phone numbers are stored right here on this phone. If anyone were to look into those phone numbers, it would be all over for you. That's why you had to kill.
No! This is too much! That does make quite a bit of sense. Well, Mr. Wellington, would you care to explain?
I got you now.
That police officer...
Your Honor.
What is it, Mr. Payne? I've had about enough of your shit.
Your Honor, this is unjustified badgering of the witness.
You already said that, you dumbass motherfucker.
Please, let's think about the content of that phone call.
Hello? No, thank you. I've been searching my phone. This is yours. I'm glad you called. We can meet up and I can give this back.
The defendant had already promised that she would return the phone. After that, all Mr. Wellington had to do was meet Miss Bird to get his phone back. Why then would he need to kill anyone?
That is a valid point. What does the defense think about this?
If you think about it logically, then this makes sense.
Then maybe we should be thinking outside the box.
Yeah. We had to think like that. Let's see. Maybe that slimeball saw something at the crime scene that made him commit murder.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright?
Well, I don't think Mr. Wellington went to pick up his phone in a very friendly manner.
But he was promised his phone, so why would he have been unfriendly to the defendant?
I think he must have seen something that he didn't agree with when he got there.
Well then, Mr. Wright, what was this something that didn't agree with the witness?
I think I know this. He saw the po-po. What Mr. Wellington saw was the victim.
The victim? You mean Dustin Prince? Dustin Prince had gone on his date right after his shift was over. With no time to change, he went to the park still wearing his police uniform.
Oh. The girl that picked up my phone is with a policeman.
He couldn't have known they were going out, so he began to worry. He was afraid the policeman would ask a few questions before returning the phone.
If I do anything suspicious, he might run a check on my phone.
In his mind, it was possible they'd already run a check on the phone.
And he went into a panic, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Officer Prince was murdered simply because he was in uniform. Man, Richard Wellington did nothing wrong.
Mr. Payne, do you have any comments?
I'm thinking.
It seems the truth has come out at last. The witness, Mr. Wellington, you are... Impressive. Not bad for a person with a third-rate education.
What's that supposed to mean?
The evidence. Evidence!
Ugh, that guy's really creeping me out.
All you've been waving around and talking about is that suspicious cell phone. Suspicious phone number this, suspicious con group that. They're all on that phone. But who's to say that phone is really mine? Where's your proof? Your evidence?
You want proof that this phone is yours?
I already told you earlier. That phone I lost, I've already found it. You don't have even the slightest idea who the phone in your hand belongs to. But you can be sure it isn't mine, you simpleton.
What?
It feels good to see you squirm. We do seem to have a problem on our hands with this phone. Whose phone is it? Without knowing that, it's meaningless as evidence.
Your Honor, this is bad. I can't let him turn the tables on me like this. This cell phone. There has to be something I've overlooked. There's gotta be. Maybe. This phone has the names and numbers of those on the con group in its memory. I can show them to you, Your Honor.
I don't believe this. What are you talking about? What we are trying to determine is who that phone belongs to. Who cares about what phone numbers are stored on it? Besides, who knows? Maybe you went and added some of those numbers in yourself. The witness is quite right. I'm afraid I have to reject the defense's proposal.
That jerk is back to his arrogant, annoying self again. The cell phone. I got it. We should check for fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wellington must have left some prints on his phone.
Nick, don't you remember? When you got that from Maggie, you wiped it off.
I what?
You said there was sand all over it, so...
Wiped it? I wiped it?
Pretty thoroughly, too.
It's oh so much fun watching you third-rate trash babble like morons amongst yourselves.
He's made a complete recovery.
How many times do I have to say this? My phone is right here, you see? Oh, and incidentally, you can't check the numbers stored on this phone. It must have glitched because all the numbers just magically disappeared.
You've got to be joking. He erased all the numbers I was going to use as evidence. Mr. Wellington.
What's this? By the tone of your voice, it sounds like you still have some fight left in you.
Where'd you finally find your cell phone?
Oh, you are too much! And of course you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh my, now I remember.
Huh, looks like they hung up.
Ah, good. I finally found it.
So that's when...
What's wrong, Mr. Attorney? Why the harsh glare in your eyes?
Nick, we've worked so hard to get this far, but if you don't do something quick, he's gonna get off scot-free.
I know. I know this phone has to be his. But how am I supposed to prove something like that?
Mr. Wright, if you cannot prove who the owner of that cell phone is, your indictment has no basis and therefore no power. It looks like you came up a penny short.
Where? Where did I go wrong?
Don't blame yourself. You're merely a third-rate lawyer. You only made one big mistake. Who are you? What are you? That's something you haven't figured out for yourself yet.
Who I am?
The court hereby concludes the cross-examination. If that will be all, I'll have to bid you gentlemen and ladies goodbye. I have a reservation at that ultra-fancy restaurant on the upper side of town.
Thank you for your assistance. You've had a stressful day, so please, bon appetit.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just let it go at that? Please wait, Your Honor.
All right, Nick.
I think I may be able to prove it.
Prove it? Prove what, Mr. Wright?
Everything. Your Honor, the cross-examination's already ended. Besides, the defense is going to badger the witness with more inane questions.
You will not harass the witness. Is that clear, Mr. Wright? Did you hear that? No harassment allowed, Mr. Attorney.
Please, Your Honor.
Very well, but this is your last chance, Mr. Wright. You may present one piece of evidence to the court.
I only get one shot at this.
If you cannot prove everything, it's over, for your client and for you. Do you fully understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sure you're well aware, Your Honor, but the cross-examination period has ended.
Were you paying attention, Mr. Payne? I said that Mr. Wright could present only one more piece of evidence.
Oh.
Now then, Mr. Wright, this is your last chance.
It all comes down to this. It's go time.
Please present the one piece of evidence that will explain everything. Why, thank you. How nice. Here, please have one of mine.
The judge's business card. It's written in fancy script. The ink is strong and clear, but I still can't read it. We never learn the judge's name, ever. I don't think there's a single moment in this entire series where we learn where we get even a hint at the judge's name.
Wait, what am I doing? This isn't the time to be exchanging business cards.
Your Honor, There's something very important about that card, and that is... This card is important because of what's on the back.
You wrote your cell phone number on the back, but...
And that's exactly it. Can you please call this number from your cell phone?
Huh? Right now? But court is still in session.
It's okay, you'll see.
Okay, if you say so.
Is the defense preparing something, Mr. Wright?
We're gonna call my cell phone right now, and then the court will see everything for what it is.
Of all the idiotic, stupid things to... Ah! What? Why is my phone? And what's with this stupid-sounding ringtone?
Mr. Wellington. Man, that actually gave me flashbacks because I actually set that as my ringtone on my very first cell phone. I could almost swear that you're holding my phone.
You're... Ah! No, it can't!
By the way, before I forget, thank you very much for the lump on my head this morning. I don't think I need to explain any further except to say, when you went to retrieve your cell phone, you accidentally took the wrong one.
What is he saying?
Oh, I'm actually lightheaded from that, the fuck?
So that is what happened. You were knocked out by Mr. Wellington.
He's a man who lives on his pride and self-image alone. In order to hide his involvement with the con artist group, he's become paranoid and lost all ability to make rational judgments. Then, Mr. Wright, the phone you're holding... It's Mr. Wellington's, naturally.
Speaking of that man, how is he, Mr. Payne?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned.
I knew that the real you would shine through eventually. I'm so moved by what you've done for me, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright.
I feel really bad for Dustin. He didn't do anything to deserve this.
He was a cop, Maya. Let it go.
It's probably because of me.
You're a cop, Maggie. Let it go.
My whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures.
Your whole life? It can't be that bad, can it?
It might be divine punishment for my career path, I don't know. I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've ever taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and never won or even tied at a game of tic-tac-toe. My life has already been nothing but a string of disasters. That's, pretty bad. Up until I went to college, I was known as the Goddess of Misfortune. And then at the academy, everyone called me Lady Luckless.
Lady Luckless?
What's worse is that my misfortune always seems to latch onto those around me.
What do you mean?
When I see someone in trouble, I always try to help. Ah, that's right. You were talking about this earlier. It happened again recently, too, sir.
There was an old lady pacing back and forth by the pedestrian crosswalk. I gave her my hand, and before I knew it, we were having dinner at my house. I grabbed her hand, and then I tore it off. She had leprosy.
Oh. That's pretty fucked up, Maggie. Not gonna lie.
That glove didn't even have any sort of special meaning. It was just a present to say thanks for covering one of my night shifts.
Oh, I see.
Everything is all my fault. Dustin's death? Your head being all messed up? Well, I don't think my head is that messed up yet. I'm going to find a new life for myself starting now. The next time we meet, I'm sure I'll have found a whole ocean's worth of good luck by then, sir. Yeah, after all, the Goddess of Misfortune is only a name. You bet. I'm gonna make it, I promise. Next time we meet, I'll only be an unlucky person instead of a goddess. Yeah, that's the spirit. Well, Mr. Wright, Maya, I should get going.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thanks. You take care of yourselves, too. What a horrible day. I've gotten my memory back, but things are still a little fuzzy.
But you're okay, and that's what counts. You really had me worried. Come on, let's go back to the office.
I'm afraid to ask, but here goes. So this might sound bad, but, who are you?
What? I thought you said you got your memory back.
At that moment, everything really did come back to me. Detective Gumshoe, he's someone I've had clashes with in the past during certain cases, but he's also been a good ally during others. The judge, he's a lovable, kind old man who's easily swayed by other people's opinions, but in the end, he always comes up with the right verdict. I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Yeah. He seems to know me, but maybe he's mistaking me for someone else? And this girl, Maya?
You finally remembered.
This is Maya Fey, my assistant. That's right. I have so many unforgettable memories about her. You know, except the ones I forgot.
Earth to Nick, what's wrong? He keeps staring at me. Don't tell me you've missed me.
You could say that. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages.
Oh? Well, I'm back now. So it's time for us to create new memories together.
Alright, sounds good. All the phone numbers on my phone were erased by Mr. Wellington. I guess I have to start over from the very beginning.
Come on, Nick. Let's go to our usual ramen bar.
Okay. Actually, it hasn't even been that long since she came back into my life. And that story is for another time. Like maybe next episode. But if you enjoyed this video, then no further actions required on your part. If you guys have suggestions on what else you'd like to see me play, let me know in the comments. I'll see you all next episode. Who's this? You'll find our next episode. Maybe. Probably.